Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Your Library at Home. My name is Ben, and today we're going to be talking about a few things that Google offers every user that has a Google account. So these are Google tools, and I'd like to cover in specific a couple of them. The first is going to be Google Docs, which is a way to create and share Word documents, and the other is Google Drive, which is a way to store documents and files and share them with other people. So let's get into it. I'm going to share my screen so you can see what I'm doing. And we're going to use a couple of different things to get started here. So this is the Google homepage. And I got here by simply typing google.com into my address bar. Now, to access all of the things that go with a Google account, we're going to have to log in. So that's what this blue button does. You just click sign in, and then you would get to this page. I'm going to use the library's digital services Gmail account to do this, talk about these things. So let's log in here. Okay, and we're logged in. You can tell because there's now a D for digital services in the upper right-hand corner. Now, to access Google Docs, I like to click on the waffle, and then you'll see right away that there's more than just Docs and Drive in here. There's a lot of other stuff. There's photos, there's calendar, there's Duo, which is great for video chats if you haven't tried it yet. Sheets, which is sort of like Excel, if you're familiar with Microsoft Excel for bookkeeping. Slides, which is like PowerPoint. Hangouts for chat. But we're going to focus right now on Docs. So let's click on Docs. And we'll talk about some geography to get started. Up in the upper left corner, you've got the hamburger button. This is the main menu where you're going to do most of your navigating, where you can create a document, a sheet, a slide, or a form. You've got settings, and you can also access the Drive from here. At the top, you've got a search bar for any document that you might have created. Right below that, you can start a new document. If you want to just do a blank document, click on the plus sign. You also have templates for resumes, project proposals, brochures, reports, and a bunch of other stuff. Let's start by creating a new document. So this is what a document looks like when it's totally blank and ready to be filled in with text. You might notice at the top of the screen, you've got File, Edit, View, Insert, and here you can add images or tables or drawings, charts to provide some more information for your document. You can change the text style, paragraph style, line spacing, all the things that you can do in Microsoft Word. You can add links. Then right below that, you've got some buttons that allow you to print, to take a step back, to move forward in your tasks, change the font, change the font size, change the text color, highlight text, insert images, change justification and alignment, change line spacing, and add bullet and numbering. So let's go through and see what text looks like. So we're just going to call this, we're going to change the title, and I'm going to do that by clicking on Untitled Document. We're going to call it GBPLD Rocks! Exclamation, because it does. And then we're going to add some information here. We can say Gail Borden. Okay, now we've got a document. The nice thing about Google Docs and every Google tool is that it saves in real time. So you never have to worry about looking for a save button or going into the file menu and saying click save. You don't ever have to worry about that. It's automatically going to be there in the state that you last left it. But what if you wanted to share this with somebody, you ask? Well, in that case, you click on this blue share button on the right-hand side. And here, you can share it in a couple of different ways. You can share it by email address. If that person is already in your address book, you can share by name. Or you can copy the link and share the link directly in somebody else's email. A couple of different ways. And this is a great way to collaborate with somebody else on the same project. You can also have a running comment history if you have a lot of people working on the same document, so you can keep track of who's doing what. If we click on the blue notepad here, it'll take us to the Docs home, and then we'll be able to see that our document is in the Recent Documents area. Right down here. Let's open it up again and make sure that everything is still there, and it is. So that is a snapshot of Google Docs. Now that we've covered Google Docs, let's go into Google Drive, which, as I mentioned, is sort of the hard drive that Google uses to keep track of all of your files and documents and things that you want to save. So here we are in Google again. I'll click on the wall. Go to the home page again so you can look at what's there. You can look at documents that have been shared with you. And you notice that when I click just once on the title, it turns light blue, and that means it's selected. And then I can go up to Get Shareable Link. I can share it directly using this little sorry figurine. I can preview the file to see how it looks on a screen, or I can trash it. Now, if I hit this trash can for remove, that means it goes into the trash bin, and it'll be there for up to 30 days. And in that 30 days, you can still retrieve it and move it back into your Google Drive for further retention. The nice thing about Google Drive is that you can create folders. You can also upload entire folders. So let's create a folder called GBPLD Rocks. And then we can move our document into that folder. And there's our document down here, GBPLD Rocks. So I'm gonna do this by clicking, holding that down, and then dragging it up into the folder. Now you'll see that it's gone away from the Files section, but if we click on the folder itself, there it is. Let's just click on that and make sure it's still operational, and it has exactly the same information that we added a few minutes ago. Let's get back to Google Docs for a second. Now you might notice that this looks a lot like a Microsoft Word document. And that's because they're pretty similar. If you wanted to, you could convert this to a Microsoft Word document. And you would simply click on File, go to Download, and then choose Microsoft Word. And you'll notice that you can also choose a bunch of different document formats here if you want to include this as an attachment to an email or something like that, or share it with somebody else in an area outside Google Drive or Google Docs. So that's where you would do this. I mentioned earlier that the nice thing about Google is that all of it comes with your Google account. And an added benefit of that is that if you can connect to the internet, you can log into Google, and that means that all of your documents will be easily at hand. You don't have to worry about taking up any space with your documents. They're all going to be stored in the cloud, and you can access it. You can access them anytime you can connect to the internet. So that's one of my favorite parts about that. Google is one login for all of its services, which is another big benefit. And let's get into a couple of those other services now. So here we are back on the Google homepage, and we can click on the waffle. If you take a lot of photos is a great way to save your photos. You can upload them from your device and then have access to them anytime you like. If you do a lot of budgeting or bookkeeping, Sheets is a great way to access that information, keep track of that data. And you can do that in ways that are not connected to Microsoft, but you can convert those files to Excel files too, and vice versa. You can upload an Excel file into Google Sheets, and you'd still be able to use it that way. And then one other thing that I use quite a bit is the calendar. You can create calendars, you can share them with others, and all of these things are available free with your Google account. So that's just a quick run through of some of the free services, I should say, that Google offers with its account. All you would have to do is set up an email address with a backup phone number just in case, and a password, and you'd have access to all of that stuff. I hope you've enjoyed this brief walk through Google. And be sure to tune in for our other programs. On weekdays, we have story times at 11 o'clock, followed by an adult program every evening at 7 p.m. And then on weekends, at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, there's usually a family program. So keep an eye on our social media channels for that information, and hope to see you again soon.